Hey, I'm Mike, and welcome back to Retro Boost. New video, new glasses. Well, not new glasses. They're the same glasses I had before. I'm back to wearing glasses now. I had contacts in temporarily because I was doing a big job at a sort of construction-ish site. Didn't want to endanger the glasses during that project's duration, so glasses are back and here to stay. Random thing. This video is a redo, though. So I recently had published the Enhanced S-Video overview focusing on the N64. In my footage, there was like a kind of graphical oddity that I wasn't sure if it was like maybe I had something set in the RetroTINK wrong, maybe I had something wrong with the capture, some kind of compatibility thing. I wasn't really positive. It was fairly subtle when watching it like on my TV in 4K, but when it was uploaded to YouTube's compression, even if watching on a TV, but especially on mobile, made that like impossible to ignore, and it was bad. And then I happened to get an answer on what that specific thing is. So now I know what feature it is that aids in getting rid of that effect. It's going to be the chroma shift. So a pinned comment was not going to suffice as a correction for that issue. It's a mistake on my part for not knowing that feature needed to be toggled with, so I didn't want to leave it up with that comment because the footage would still be kind of screwy and bad and misrepresent the whole thing. So redo. This is the new video. Welcome back. We learn from our mistakes here. My mistakes. It's all my mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. But this is great because I got the answer I was looking for and can now call that out here in this video. And a big thanks and shout out to the help I got in the RetroTINK 4K help section of the Discord server. That was fantastic. I got an answer like immediately. It was so awesome. So let's do it again, go over Enhanced S-Video, and I will be calling out all the little things now, because now we know about the chroma shift. So all new capture footage, all new comparisons await. So what is Enhanced S-Video? Is it a new type of cable? Is it some kind of adapter? Is it some other third thing that I can't think of right now? Yes, sort of. So I've mentioned S-Video a lot in recent videos because S-Video is cool. It's worth trying it out as an upgrade over composite because you can do so at a much better price than going all the way to like component or SCART cables. S-Video is far cheaper by comparison, still made easy to purchase, bundled with certain RetroTINK devices and other things as well. So it's cool. Enhanced S-Video changes how S-Video connects and is processed by the RetroTINK 4K. So regular S-Video is going to connect to the front where there is an S-Video in along with composite RCA. The red and white RCA on the front is used for the audio for the S-Video input there. So it's all in the front. Enhanced S-Video involves connecting an S-Video cable, so the cable won't change, to the VGA input on the back of the RetroTINK 4K, which it looks like you just wire those bad boys up to the appropriate pins, or easy way, which is really cool, this exists, Lazer Bear Industries makes an adapter that seats right in there, screws in like any VGA cable would. It matches the height and aesthetic of the RetroTINK 4K, so it looks like it belongs there, which is killer. And now, bam, done. You now have the means to connect S-Video through the VGA port. For the audio part of it, by default, the 3.5mm in is what's mapped to the VGA input. You can override and swap around the audio input that's being used for the given active input that you're connected to, but if you want to just keep it simple and just put to use what's already default mapped, I recommend just like a female Y splitter RCA. That'd be the easiest way to connect up an S-Video connection to this all this stuff, and those are very cheap. So that's how it connects. So what does that get us? Well, that allows for a much higher quality processing of the signal whilst also unlocking some features regarding S-Video S-Video that normally by default are not available, namely the auto gain and phase and things like that are now available with the S-Video input, which is going to increase the quality of the video you get. It is purported that it is basically near RGB modded quality with consoles like the N64. I heard that and I was like, damn, really? Because for the price, like I said, S-Video cables are pretty cheap, so is this adapter. You're basically paying the price of like a high-end cable to get that kind of quality, which I think is a great deal, especially considering that for Nintendo at least, that's a cable that you can use with multiple systems, because the RetroTINK 4K does have packed in with it tons of enhanced S-Video profiles across different systems that are lovingly made by the community, which is really cool. So there's all the basics established as far as the physical connections. Let's now see it in action. I'm going to keep it focused to the N64. Given that this is like a redo video, I was tempted to like go all out and just do like a bunch of different systems, but I still want to avoid having like another hour-long video, because again, this is more about the concept of enhanced S-Video, not like a demonstration on like every single console known to mankind. So we're going to keep it focused on N64. First, though, let's just see kind of everything in action. Let's see a clip of gameplay of just standard S-Video using the front input out of the N64 with the Start Here profile. Nothing too special there, just kind of the usual experience with a basic profile.
Here we go!
Alright, thoughts. S-Video by itself is pretty great. I got no like objective complaints. Everything is still very defined and sharp. Obviously the N64 itself has its quirks, but as far as just what that experience was in front of me on my television right now, that's good. I like it. Now let's slide in enhanced S-Video, and it's not gonna be like a night and day difference, but the biggest noticeable thing that happens when sliding it in is the like brightness and color, thanks to the auto gain taking its effect. So there is a difference that is definitely noticeable, more so side by side, which is why we're going to do side by sides, don't worry. Before we get to that though, let's do a full clip. Again, Start Here profile, but with enhanced S-Video.
Here we go!
Okay, looking very good. Both of these examples looked great. The enhanced one has a very different color profile to it though. I think one thing that you'll take note of in the comparisons to follow here are like Mario's flesh tones are looking better with the enhanced S-Video, mainly due to that auto gain and phase. But here's the thing. Before you put enhanced S-Video to work, auto gain is something that you get, but there's one more key feature that needs to be messed with, and that's the chroma shift. And this is the thing that I missed when I was initially playing around with this and then uploaded the first video. So ideally, you load up your intended profile, you'll run things like auto gain and phase as needed, definitely do auto gain, and then you're going to want to go into the menu where chroma shift is and adjust that. So For me, it'll differ from source to source, but for me, negative like 5 to 7 was getting it set where it looked correct and getting away from that weird offset like kind of outline that things had that was really noticeable on watching the video on mobile. It's there when you're playing it in front of you on the TV without adjusting it, but not like egregious. But you're gonna want to adjust it obviously to make it look like correct. So don't forget to do that. Adjust the chroma shift feature, and it's gonna differ like source to source. For me, for these videos, generally speaking, negative like 5 and negative 6 are what most of these are set to, and that's where it got it set for me. So with all that established, let's do some comparisons and see how they compare to each other. So let's do comparisons of standard and enhanced S-Video, start here profiles, and a couple of optimized profiles for each. And then do an RGB comparison, showing the RGB-Modded N64 with deblur enabled, going into the RetroTINK 4K via component. It starts as SCART and then gets converted with the RGB2 comp, then goes component, ultimately ending up to the RetroTINK 4K. I do that to maximize the number of inputs I've got available on my Extron system. So it's going to be component coming into the system. Compare that to enhanced S-Video with like similarly set up profiles. Start here and then some optimized ones, and see how those shake out.
Hello. Start to play. It's me, Mario. Hello. start to play.
Hello!
Press start to play.
All right, what are we thinking here? Yeah, so definitely as it goes, Enhanced has, like, to me at least, it's obviously this is all very opinionated, right? But I definitely enjoy what happens with the color of Enhanced S-Video versus standard. Everything looks a little more natural thanks to the auto gain specifically. Definition-wise, they're close, but watching it on my 4K screen in front of me to see it all in 4K, which I can't do on my capture monitors because it's all gonna be 1080. So like the editing part of this is so difficult because what I'm seeing like is super compressed and not what it's gonna be. So I got it on my screen in front of me. Enhanced definitely has like better clarity to it, a little more definition. I think it's really cool though that when scaled up to an RGB comparison, although the RGB is still the king, it is really cool how close Enhanced S-Video really does get. So I would agree with the sentiment that this is like near RGB quality. It's really close. Like the RGB examples do have like another tier up of definition to them, but the color's like identical, and like that's what's really cool to me. With Mario, the Mario face like frozen in front of me, the definition I can see better on the RGB side as far as like the edge detail and little things like that, but the color, like the blue background, the red hat, the white, the eyes, the mustache darkness, like all that is identical. And I think that that's really cool considering one is like RGB mode out of the system with component cables and SCART. It's converted, but it's a component, right? So ultimately it's a component, and it's against S-Video. That VGA port and what that unlocks settings wise, what that does is really cool. So if you have a RetroTINK 4K and you were looking for a better priced way to squeeze more performance out of a variety of consoles, definitely check this out. The adapter that Lazer Bear makes is certainly an easy way to get this feature up and running. And the cables themselves, like for Nintendo, one S-Video cable can get you compatibility between a lot of different systems. Similar for Sony's too. They make, I have one, Retro Gaming Cables UK has an S-Video cable that you can use for PS1 or PS2. So there are options out there that are multi-system compatible, but either way, they're better priced than going all in on the SCART RGB stuff. And as we're seeing here, the quality is very close. So cool. Hope you found this more helpful and informative than my last one was. I've definitely made mistakes before, but none that big, so I needed to like go back and like redo all this because it did not sit well with me to have a pinned comment that's like, hey, this looks bad, and it won't look bad if you do what I didn't do when I was putting this together. So I needed to like go back and redo it all, and I'm glad I did because I learned a lot more about the setup of this particular feature in the process and was able to do better comparison footage that represents the feature a lot better. And again, thank you so much to the help that I got in the RetroTINK help Discord. I'm really like social media phobic, to like be real with you for a moment. So like I actually haven't done much in that Discord server. I've been like a creep watching things here and there over the years, but I don't think I ever like posted a message for the first time until like a couple of weeks ago about hue lights, funny enough, and then I asked for help there. I don't know, I'm really weird about like social media. Like I don't have much of it. Obviously this is considered social media. YouTube is, you know, that thing, but it's kind of hard for me to like kind of put myself out there and ask for things. I'm really shy and kind of dumb in that regard, I guess. I'm glad I did though, because I learned more about the use of the TINK 4K and this feature, and I hope that anyone that watches this also learns that too, because I had no idea that you were supposed to mess around with the chroma shift feature when getting this thing up and running. It was great to learn that. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.